I'm in a 300ZX for the first time in 5 years. I was ecstatic. I get to a light, I decide to launch it. First gear, car takes off like a rocket. Second gear, not so much. Hey guys, welcome to another At the Apex vlog. Today I want to tell you about my experience purchasing this 300ZX 8 years ago. It started with me getting the itch again. I decided it's the right time in my life for a 300ZX again. I was graduating graduate school in a short period of time. I had the finances to do it. I was single. It all made sense. So I look really hard. I find this for the right price, $5,000, right? This was back in 2010. Keep in mind the car looked nothing like this. I've done a lot of work since then, but we'll get into that at a later time. I'm basically ready to buy the car. I ask him a few extra questions. I cover the clutch specifically. He tells me in writing, no worries, the clutch was just recently replaced. So of course I felt really good about this car. I went down to Austin, Texas with a buddy of mine. Basically told him, hey, the flight's on me, you just cover the hotel, you're kind of doing me a favor, let's make this a road trip, it'll be a blast, driving across the whole half of the country from the south all the way up to the northeast. So essentially this was going to be an amazing trip, something that would be top of my bucket list. So we get there, I meet the guy at the airport, he hands me a folder with papers this thick. Keep in mind the car was almost 20 years old at that point, and essentially I skimmed through them, said to myself, all right, I'm not going to look for every single detail, because if I do, we're going to be here for at least half an hour. So I spent about 5 minutes truthfully looking through the paperwork that he gave me, said, all right, this checks out, handed him the cash, and essentially went on my merry way, right? So my buddy and I are driving, I'm in my glory, we're driving in Texas, it's amazing, Austin, Texas. We decide to go to the Salt Lick for barbecue. They have the most amazing barbecue of my life. Maybe Memphis, Tennessee might have been better, but generally speaking, the Salt Lick is right up there. And I'm all happy, things are going well. All right, so that's the good part of the story. The bad part is really about to come. Get to a street that looks, that leads to the on-ramp. I said to my buddy, we're at the light, I said, should I launch it? He said, why not? I said, you know what the heck? Because I'm not a big fan of launching 300ZXs for a couple of reasons. We'll get into that maybe at a later time. So anyway, I revved the car up to 2,000 RPMs. It might have been 2,500, I don't remember exactly where. It's revving, neutral, light turns green, dump the clutch, go for it. Car takes off like a rocket, go for second gear, and I got nothing, and I'm just rolling. So, luckily, I braked, we pushed the car to a Walgreens parking lot. I call up the guy immediately. I'm like, what the heck? There's no way that a new clutch on a 300ZX would, brake after launching it from first gear. So, we go back and forth a lot. It was really tedious, very stressful, because my, sports car on a budget got completely blown up. All right, so anyway, let's just say that he was not very considerate of the situation. He wanted to tell me, you bought it, you're stuck with it. And I said to him, dude, that might make sense, but I have in writing that you lied to me. So we're gonna negotiate, we're gonna figure something out. In the meantime, I asked my friend, so did you book the hotel? Where are we going? Because it was a terrible day. He's like, oh, I didn't get a hotel yet. I'm like, what? So we wound up finding a hotel, actually a motel, on the side of the highway. It had our room, there was bullet holes in the door. This place was so skeevy that my friend and I both, different beds, but we slept in our clothes because we didn't trust the sheets. We thought there would be bed bugs or just something gross. I mean, just honestly, we were grossed out. So anyway, this whole experience is not going very well. After that, basically a car got towed. I brought it to the shop that did the work in the first place. Oh, and guess what? You know what it turned out that the gentleman who owned the car, if I could call him a gentleman, had done before before I took ownership of it? He had a clutch master cylinder replaced. He thought that a clutch master cylinder was the same thing as a clutch. So, you know, if you want to learn a lesson from my experience, it's that you really should actually grill a person and see if they actually genuinely understand cars, besides really looking through the paperwork. So anyway, you know, this whole experience really goes sideways. We wind up staying in Austin, checking out music. It takes 2 to 3 days for me to actually get situated, make arrangements for the car to be fixed at the shop, get the parts in, and also make arrangements for the car to be shipped up to me, because now I can't drive it back, and also get alternative airfare, get alternative air travel. So anyway, it was just a humongously painful experience. You know, I'm gonna, through time, I'm gonna do more vlogs about this car. This 300ZX has had a ton of work done to it, including an entire semi-restoration. It's pretty modified, a dyno 350 at the wheel, 390 torque. So, you know, it's not the most modified, most well-done 300ZX out there, but it's pretty nice. So anyway, more vlogs to come. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.